And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster. Touching base with you as I always do every day, except when I have a dentist appointment like yesterday. So yesterday I tried to come on early, and unfortunately, fortunately, I got to the dentist's office ahead of time. I said, let me get there like 10 to 11 so I can set up and get things ready. I was really there a quarter to I think I got there quarter to 11. And I said, "Oh, let me do that so I can set up." And because my dental appointment wasn't until 11:30, so I said my mindset said I can get a half hour in with y'all. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. The universe didn't work that way. It did not work that way. I ended up. My dentist said, "Well, since you're here, why not start now?" And I was not expecting it. Anyway, today was Tip Tuesday, and we are going to be looking at photographing your Christmas and New Year's Eve celebrations. So a lot of parties are going on now. The cities are all lit up. You've seen me posting over the last couple of days. I've been photographing all over the city. One is I've been trying to increase my stock photo images so that I can start selling more photos, because some of my Christmas stock images were bought last week or 2 weeks ago, and I said, "Oh, I need to add more to that portfolio." So trying to make some little extra money. And again, I will encourage you to do the same. Remember, we had a conversation weeks ago about you setting up your own stock image accounts with Adobe and Getty Images. So that way you can also put your work out into the world. And look, like I told Adrian, 69 cents here, 69 cents there makes a big difference if you got thousands of photos on the stock image set. So I was out and about taking lots of photos. I've been roaming around. Every time I head to the city, I make sure I stop into Midtown, stop into the Flatiron District, stop in different parts of the city and photograph, so I can really increase my library when it comes to photographing our Christmas and New Year's Eve celebrations. Okay, so make sure you do that. We will be talking about that at the latter part of our time together. So I'm going to remove that off the screen. There's a lot in the news today. Jasmine Crockett, my goodness, my girl, Jasmine Crockett. I love Jasmine. I had an opportunity this year to meet Jasmine, Miss Jasmine Crockett, the Honorable Jasmine Crockett. I got a chance to meet her this year at Martha's Vineyard, and that was absolutely wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. She even helped me do our selfie together. It was lots of fun. So we had a good time together. And she is running for the Senate. She is running for a Senate seat in Texas. Move over House of Representative. She is moving into the Senate. And I think she has a high probability chance of winning. Anyway, you Texans, let me know. You Texans out there, let me know. Do you think she can win? Do you think she can win? And if you're in the building, make sure you hit the likes. Let's say good morning to some folks. And guess who's look who's in the building with the gold this morning. Kelly A is in the building with the gold. I tell you, this top 3 bracket keeps shifting and changing. She says, good morning, everyone. And Omar says, I will not be the lesser. Only to Kelly A. But he is in the building. He says, good morning, all. Good morning. Omar, we were talking about you this morning. I was talking about you this morning. So you must have heard it. But I definitely need to, today I have a photo shoot, a big photo shoot in Times Square. But we need to get together because I need to figure out when is a good time to come to Texas, because it's probably on your sofa that I'll be staying. Instead of you being on my sofa, now I'll be on your sofa. So that's what it's looking like. We'll be talking. We'll talk more about it. Oh, I see people are pouring in now. People are coming in. So again, let me just see what also. Let me check out. Let me open this up here. And let me refresh this little page over here so I can see what's going on. Okay, here we go. Oh, there we go. It says, there we go. We're live. There we go. Live. Live. And I'm going to turn this volume off there. Okay, excellent. Okay, so make sure you hit the like so the algorithms know to tell everyone that we're here. It tells the community that we are here. So today we're talking photography tips for Christmas, and it will help you to expand the conversation we had last week, 2 weeks ago, on stock images. This is a good way to use, and you know what? Stock images with people on it sell more. So guess what? You already have an advantage. If you can photograph your sister or your brother and they don't care about being part of stock images, you can get them to sign off on it real quick. And guess what? You have a better photo on the charts because it has a human looking into the camera. So we're going to be talking about Christmas photography. Like I said, it's been a busy yesterday. I had to give up the, as they say, give up the ghost. Yesterday was so cold. I only got like 3 or 4 images in. It was so cold to be outside, but I got some photos in, and I will be sharing them on Instagram. I said this, and you know what? I really need to. I gotta rewire my brain to start sharing these photos in our community. I gotta give our community more images than I give Instagram. Just saying. I mean, this is the community. And you have the opportunity to also put your images in the community chat. Since I'm talking about it, I might as well put it on the screen. I might as well pop it on the screen because maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know because Noah responded last week. We have a YouTube community page under Ron Lewis Photos. You click on it above that little tab. It says join the community. Open the community. You can go to the community and share your photography, your text postings, your conversations, your engagements. Talk with one another. You can say, Omar, what's going on? In the community page. Lisa, what are you up to? Kelly A, what are you up to? You know, use the community page to build community. Okay, so make sure you use it. It is a great way to communicate. That's why we set it up for you. And guess what? YouTube is really promoting it. So if you have a YouTube channel person, you have a YouTube channel, and you are not using your community page, I heard through the grapevine, you need to start using it because they are promoting it. And you want to be where they're promoting your community page. So guys, become active. Become active in the community. Okay, I see here. Let's go on. Kelly says got her little confetti and banners. And hey, Kaz is in the building. She says, blessed tenacious Tuesday. It is Tip Tuesday. And Omar says, very crowded race. I'm pulling for her. I think she will excel. Kimmy says, morning, y'all. Is it, wait, hold on a minute. Classic. Oh, hold on, let me say. Classic got the bronze this morning. Classic got the bronze this morning. Okay, now we can go on. Kimmy says, good morning. And we got the wonderful Janet is in the building. She says, greetings, Touch Base Daily folks. Omar says, I got you. Yes, right. We got a plan. We got to strategize. Texas, here I come. Texas, here I come. The great thing is, you can pick me up at the airport. Oh, I cannot wait to get to there. to Texas to really enjoy Texas. And Omar, since I'm bringing this up, have you ever been to a rodeo? I am craving to photograph a rodeo. I've never been to a rodeo, like a black rodeo. Black rodeo, boys. I want to go to a black rodeo. I hear there more people do more of it in Oklahoma, but I hear there's some rodeos in Texas also. Somebody get me information on the black rodeos of Texas because I do want to photograph a good rodeo. Oh, yes. I have never been, and I want to go. And oh, Omar, I brought you up twice this week. I even mentioned to you, I mentioned to you with my family. We had a little family gathering this week, and it was great. Oh my gosh, we had a great time. And what happened was we were talking about, things that we used to do when we were growing up. And I mentioned to my cousin because he likes to fish and they like to go boating. They live in Florida, they boat and all that stuff. And I said, yeah, my buddy Omar took me fishing. It was an experience I will never forget because I thought I was like in a movie and I took the rod and I said, let me just wheel it back and throw it out. Wrong move. Because that little hook got caught in my nipple. And I was done. I said, Omar! I thought I was like on some like fishing channel. And I said, let me just reel it back. And as I reeled it back, the hook came up and ripped right through my shirt, right through my nipple. And I will never forget our first fishing event. Oh, what are friends for, right? What are friends for? Elise says, good morning, everyone. She says, good morning. And Cass says, okay, excuse me, change that popped up. I am not sure how to change it. I know some of these things are interesting. And Tanya Moore is in the building, and we did get to text. We did get to texting. Let me tell you, we start texting. I thought we were going to have to text a long time, but I had to get off with her because I had to go hang out with my family. And but Tanya, we will talk. We will be talking on the phone verbally. And so we're working on some good stuff when it comes to, she's a great world traveler like myself, loves to travel, loves culture, loves people, loves the globe. She is a global citizen like me. And so I'm looking forward to getting to know one of our wonderful members of this community, Miss Tanya Moore. So good job, good job. And Dr. Tachi's in the building. She says, good day, all good day. And me, Dr. Almost said he don't hang with those people. Okay. Dr. Ty says, hey, all in the vertical stream. That's right, the vertical streamers. Hello, vertical streamers. And should I be again? I don't really think about Instagram like I used to. I mean, I really should be. Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't just be so focused on trying to get Instagram in. I haven't put Instagram into the building. So that might be something that I should do. I'm going to try to do it today. I usually keep forgetting. Maybe there's a sign there. I don't know. But yeah, here we go. Let's get into our wonderful Instagrammers. I'm going to give them a little invitation. And here we go. Instagrammers, save the changes. Here we go. Okay, so Instagrammers can pop into the field as well. Nice. Okay, Instagrammers. Instagrammers are going to be popping in a moment. And then they will know that we're here. Okay, I think they will. Oh, there we go. It took a long time to get them on. Oh, okay, there we go. Instagrammers are now in the building. So, guys, in Instagram. So let's back to StreamYard. Let's see here. That's right, Omar. You are still a New Yorker. You may be living in Texas, but you are still a New Yorker. Yeah, Dr. Tachi says, don't Omar and G live in Texas? Yes, they do. And a couple other people. Anthony lives in Texas. Gwendolyn lives in Texas. Omar lives in Texas. There's someone else here that lives in Texas. So there's a couple of folks in here, several folks that live in Texas, and some that are not here that I am friends with through Omar that live in Texas, the cheetah folks, the cheetah lighting folks. So I met a couple of those folks as well. And so I'm looking on. Is that my God for the hook, Dr. Tachi? And Dr. Tachi said, I'm going to let Anthony take Ron. Those arenas smell bad. Really? Really? Oh, wow. That I didn't know that they stink. But I guess if you have a bunch of bulls and horses, I guess it would be stink. And so, yes, but you have to take me, Omar. I mean, hello. We went fishing together. If I could do fishing, you can do a rodeo. Classic says, wait, I did not think you were going to say that. Oh my gosh, glad you're okay. Oh my goodness, it was a bad experience. That hook, a hook on the nipple, that was not fun. Are you sure you were wearing a shirt, Ron? I was wearing a shirt. I always wear a shirt. Too many roles to be shown, so I have to use the shirt. Kelly Yates says, oh my gosh, yes, it was. Omar was there. He saw it. He saw it happen. He looked at me and said, oh. Yes, there's nothing worse than a hook in your nipple. I will never forget that day as long as I live. And so let's talk about how are you guys feeling about I see some of you did respond. How are you guys feeling about Jasmine Crockett running for the Senate in the US Senate for Texas? I am excited about it. And as soon as I just wanted to do that. I wanted to make sure I posted my time with her and share that with you all. Also, here's if you can put that in the comment box if you want to share how you feel about it. But I also went out yesterday. Yeah, there we go. That is the hashtag Jasmine for US. Well, sorry, it's Jasmine for us. My bad. Jasmine for us. And I see here Kevin Jackson says, get it, Jasmine. Get it. Kelvin, that's just saying Kelvin. Kelvin says, get it, Jasmine. I'm excited about Jasmine Crockett. So anyway, I think she's going to be an amazing senator. They need her in the Senate. They need her. And you know who else I think is going to run? And they need her just as much. AOC. I think AOC is going to take Schumer's seat. I think that's just something I think. I don't know. I think AOC is going to, because there's a lot of rumors in New York City that they want AOC to take Chuck out to dinner and say, Chuck, it was nice having you in the Senate and representing our party, but these are different times for different folks and different strategies. And your strategy of old is just not working. So I would love your, what do you call it? I would love your graces in me be taking your seat. Just move over. No, I shouldn't even, I don't want to even compete against you. You just simply retire and let AOC take that seat. What are y'all thinking? Do you think that's plausible? Do you think that is possible? I think AOC, could you imagine? And I hope Presley does the same thing for Massachusetts. I hope that these fireball women of fire, women of strategic notion and might, if think about these three women in the Senate. Wouldn't that be awesome? Think about that. Presley, Crockett, and Cortez. Three powerful, amazing, smart, educated, strategic women in the U.S. Senate. I think it's possible. I want it to be, as Captain Picard would say, make it so. Make it so. I really believe it should be. I think, yes, I think, oh, my little light went out. Okay, let's stay on. Okay, well, we won't use this light. I was practicing. I was like, does this light work? I guess it does. It does work, but it looks like it may overheat. We'll see. And, but right? Dr. Tachi says, come on, lip balm. I can't even do it again. What's up, Lisa? Lisa's in the building, y'all. Lisa is in the building. Okay, let's go back. Let's see what's going on. Okay, Bryson also has something to say. We forgot to talk. We forgot to say Bryson's. Bryson says, what's up, Ron? What's up, everybody? Happy NCIS Tuesday. How many of you guys watch NCIS? And Lisa says, hey, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Walking these dogs. Yes. So anyway, if you're in the building, make sure you hit the like if you haven't already. And Dr. Tachi says, Chuck needs to sit down and go have dinner at Cipriani's. And Cipriani's has some good food. I don't know if you've ever been in New York City and been to Cipriani's. It is good food. Very good food. Let's see here. I see hi, Bryson. I see Omar says, Chuck, it's time for you to ride off into the sunset. I know I'm not the only one. And after what we've been through this year, we want all of the old guard gone. The Democrats, again, you know what I will say, the Democratic Party needs to embrace these older folks, the seasoned folks. The seasoned folks need to step aside. Just like, yeah, step aside and let these young people run like they know how to run it. They got new ideas, they got new methods. And in this day and age, going against what we're going against, you need all fresh crayons in this box. What's up, Tachi? Chuck needs to retire, says Elise. I agree. Bryson said Jasmine Crockett running for USA. That's what we've been talking about, Bryson. And also, Lisa says he should endorse her and campaign for her. That would mean a lot if he really cares about New Yorkers. We would leave. I agree. That's the way it should be. Chuck should just simply retire and give it to AOC and support her and run for her. And I mean, think about who has been the most vocal in New York politics and has brought real. I mean, she's actually passed legislation. I do believe she has 2 bills that she's passed. I think someone can let me know. You can just go to Google and just say how many bills have been passed into law from Cortez. I could do that, but I won't. I'll let you do it. I'm tempted to do it myself, but I want you to participate. Yes, because my Google is right here. Same here as my other little CPTs and all other stuff over here. I see everyone's laughing. Hello, beautiful Dr. Tachi. Hey, Charlene, what's going on, Charlene? You're in the building. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And Lisa says, Ron, just so you know, walking these dogs means taking care of business. Holy, I know. Let me tell you, when I was at when I was at Nia's house, they got 3 dogs. And every 3 times a day, they took those dogs out. So, yes, dog business is real business. Omar says, what do you think about Warner Bros? Oh, next topic. That is the topic. Yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Time Warner. So I say Warner Brothers being sold to Netflix and Paramount trying to do a hostile takeover. I haven't seen hostile takeover since my years in Wall Street. Back in the old days, when I was at the stock exchange, the most famous hostile takeover was Texaco and Mr. Icon. Mr. Icon and I happen to be working with the Texaco, what we call the book or the post. And let me tell you, when Icon was like, we're taking over Texaco, man, and it was a hostile takeover. And I remember that stock moving every day. We were screaming and yelling on the floor, just like you see on like trading places, every day for like 2 weeks. It was every day. What is Icon going to do? What is Carl Icon going to do? What is he going to do? What is he going to do? How is he going to take it over? How much money is he going to bid up? That was a hostile takeover. That was the last like big hostile takeover that I was like witness of. But this is a new one. Yeah, we're watching a hostile takeover right in front of our eyes. And this is not about, it is about money, but it's a lot about control. Control of our minds, control of the narrative, control of what we see, control of what we view, control. And you know who's also in the back weeds of it? I think Rule on MS Now said, she says, I think it was page 47 of the hostile of this whole structure was the name. What's Trump's son-in-law, the Keshers or whatever that's his name. Oh man, right? Money, but it's all about control. It's conservative media is consolidating. All right, and so that's what I think. What do you guys think about it? I was gonna call Dr. Tachi this morning. I was like, as soon as I heard that last night, I was like, oh my God. I was really gonna call Dr. Tachi last night. But I said, no, I'm not gonna burden Dr. Tachi today. But I would love to know what Dr. Tachi has to say about this, because this is her wheelbarrow. This is her wheelbarrow. But Dr. Tachi, you know what? You have an invitation always to come on, and I will change that QR code right on the screen. Well, I can even send you. I think I will send it anyway, just in case you are. You want to come on. If you want to come on, yeah, can come on. But this is Dr. Tachi's wheelbarrow. But this is all about control. A lot of control. Conservative media is now consolidating. And you also saw in this whole talk of this hostile takeover is that Trump says, I will be involved. I will be involved somehow in this, which is again not normal. The president is not supposed to be involved. What says you? Let me see what you guys are saying. Lisa says, Omar, rich people problems. No, this is not just rich people problem. This is your problem. If you have media of any kind, even like streaming, media, news, you will be affected because they will control the thought process of our society. So it is not rich. Yeah, it's rich people's problem when it comes to the money, but it's the control of your mind and your brains. Anthony's in the building. He says, "Good morning, good morning, good morning, Antonio." Right? Bryson says, "How do you?" Again, another person saying, "Ask the question. How do you feel about Netflix win over Warner Brothers Discovery? Because Warner Brothers having the whole franchise. Would that be considered a monopoly? Does that mean too many things under one? Too many companies under too few entities?" Lisa says, "Omar, but seriously, are they lowering our Netflix bill? Tell me how it affects us." It will affect you if you love cable. If you love cable, you love streaming. Guess what? You don't think that this money that they are charged, that they want to pay out for this merger or takeover, you are going to pay for it. So you can look for Netflix to do a hike. Netflix will do a hike in their rates because they don't pay for it. We, who are the subscribers, if we are subscribers, we will pay for this merger. We will pay for the takeover. So it is your problem, whether you like it or not. Okay, there you go. And Dr. Tachi says, I can't wait to talk about this. I know, Dr. Tachi, this is your wheelbarrow. And Lisa says, "Oh God, no, Ron, no dogs involved. It means handing Yes, so back to the dogs. Netflix purchasing, Dr. Tachi says, Netflix purchasing Warner Brothers would definitely affect the types of content we watch and have available to us. This is definitely personal for Paramount. Also, as Dr. Tachi mentions this statement, they will own a lot of movies, a lot of film, a lot of broadcasting, as in those films, those movies that you think were beautiful and great. But if they don't want you to see it any longer, guess what they can do? They can say, nope, we're not putting those out there. They are not going to be part of the world. And wait a cotton picking minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I hear someone walking down the steps of my front yard. Oh, I think she's here. Dr. Tachi is here. I think she is. Let's go to the front door. Let's go to the front door. Her waiting. Dr. Tachi's in
and
the building.
awesome for most extra intro goes to Ron Lewis Foster. Wow. How are you? You always catch me when I look terrible. So
you look great. Okay. So, Dr. Tachi, I mean, This is some serious stuff. First of all, we have not seen a hostile takeover. Maybe I'm wrong. We haven't seen a hostile takeover. We've seen takeovers and mergers. In media.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen a hostile takeover in media.
So this, to be fair, it's not so much of a hostile takeover as it is as a hostile bid.
This is true. It's a hostile bid. That's right. It's a hostile bid.
Takeover.
Yes,
they don't own it. They can't usurp the services. So this is a hostile bid. But this, when I'm looking at this, okay, I'm excited about this, right? So
I know you are.
Come on and do. I'm going to have to come on and do a media scope today. In fact, I think I've decided that how a lot of vloggers do Vlogmas.
Yes,
we're doing Scopemas. So I will several times per week this month, since I'm going to be taking a break. Come on. So this has always been a personal thing for not Paramount. Here's what I think. Paramount is not just representing Paramount. They are representing the old guard. The old guard has had a huge problem with Netflix from the jump. And I'm not just talking about studios and media companies. This is also, I keep bringing up Spielberg, but Spielberg was always, oh, get off my lawn whenever it came to Netflix. He was Mr. Get Off My Lawn when it came to Netflix winning awards, whether it was Oscars or Emmys or anybody in the Academy, because the old guard does not like change and they don't like to relinquish power. And so really, when you see Paramount come here, we'll put this down. What is it? I know there's a lot of control there because there's a lot of IP, lots of properties to be had. And what this essentially does is it consolidates media. We have been fragmented for a long time because of the fact that people were cord cutting, right? And who was at the forefront of this cord cutting? Netflix. Netflix has always been one of the companies that if you cut the cord, people would keep Netflix, right? That was what the thing was. So they've always been in this whole universe, this whole cord cutting universe. And for that, they've been paying. Okay, they have been, or people are trying to make them pay. So it's not just about Paramount overbidding now. I think it's at 108 billion to get all these properties. I think this is also you are not going to win. They've already come to the fact that, look, you cannot win the streaming game against Netflix. They have been in it much longer than you all, but they cannot take no for an answer and they cannot lose, right? It's like that child who loses the field day thing and then throws a tantrum. This is what this is like. So they are really, Paramount is really representative of old guard media, of legacy media, against quote new media. And Netflix is not even new media anymore because we have newer media, but to them they still represent new media and a changing of the guard, which they don't like. So this is why they came back so quickly to counter. Even though it was closed. It's like, bruh, it's not for sale anymore. But for them, something is always for sale. So they came back. It's like, I have to show you that I'm right.
Man, I'm like, well, again, and like I said, like someone mentioned, how does this affect us? If, for instance, of all of my streaming, the only one that I have pretty much is Netflix. And I regained Peacock because I have Peacock because T-Mobile gave it to me for free. And I was like, oh, well, okay, now I can look at Law and Order again. Because I don't look at it on the day of. And so I have Peacock now. But also we do have Paramount through Amazon.
So you see this. All the things you said are because of a collaboration with another company. You are not on your own plunking down whatever per month to get these things because nobody's checking for you, Paramount Plus.
That's right.
Or Peacock. Nobody's checking for you. You have one or two shows that come up because here's the thing. Again, let's go back. Remember when Netflix spent, and I had to say, because I was still teaching at my other university. So this had to be around 2014, 2015. And at this time, that was a lot of money. They were putting 13. They started with 10 billion, I believe, and then added another 13 billion in original programming. This is what Netflix did. So they were early in the original programming game. So not only do you have the IP and licensing from other studios and other networks, you've also got your own originals going. But I think they saw the writing on the wall because if you remember, that's when all these places, Disney being one, were snatching back their IP because they all decided that they were going to start streaming services.
Yes. And look, also, Derek, welcome, Derek. We haven't seen you in the building a while. He's been healing. Derek says this is going to be worse than it is now for actors.
Here's the thing. I agree. And I don't want to agree. So I agree. Absolutely. But see, this is why, Derek, hold my hand, bruh. Hold my hand. You see my hand here? Take my hand. I want all of you all that are actors, because I'm not really an actor anymore. Haven't been in anything in like 10 million years.
You just
So
play one on Media Scoop.
I play one on Mediascope. I don't think I can really seriously call myself an actor anymore. I'm not doing it actively anymore. So people that are actors, people that work behind the scenes, above the line, below the line, everybody there. If this doesn't show you anything, this shows you that now it's worse than before, because now all of these, to the people who are antitrust dismay, all of this is now being consolidated in fewer hands. Although this has always been the case. It's always only been like 5 companies that own all of the media we see, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so to you all, I say that work in the traditional studio system, that work in Hollywood, it's time for a shakeup. It's time to do something else. The thing is, it's difficult. And I understand that it's difficult to change what you've known. It is difficult to change this. And it's up to those of us, Ron, too, that are indie, to start to look at how are we going to create opportunities for this new breed of people who are now out here looking to do something. But also you have to want to do something different, because what makes this not work is every single time something happens, people go running back as soon as things are back to business as usual. You can't. You have to show them they can't survive without you, because they cannot.
At the end of the day, it's like someone said on one of the other programs, is that we control what happens, because if we are not paying for these subscriptions, if we're not paying for the streaming, if we're not paying for this stuff, they have no money to do it. They can't do it without us fueling what they're doing. So, yeah. So we, with the people, have to make a decision on, do we want this? Because like Elise is saying, she says, these are the surface issues. It goes deeper than this. And the deeper is, and again, this is conservative. Also, Project 2025, this is the consolidation to be able to control the minds of the people.
Exactly, which is why you can't, if nothing else, this now really shows you you cannot rely on mainstream media for your information, only on mainstream media for your information and for your livelihood. Definitely not, because they've shown you, I mean, they've shown you they don't care. They show you they will buckle to pressure when people put pressure on them because it affects their bottom line. Well, somebody who only cares when it affects their bottom line doesn't really care about you. So this is really, you're right, to Project 2025, to any edict of Milan that is brought down. This is definitely key to control the narrative by controlling the channels by which the narrative is spread. So it follows that you cannot be so married to a particular channel or network or networks or channels, particularly if it's mainstream, because we already saw who they have allegiance to. I'm sorry, I can't trust any of them.
And if I may interject, in the back lines of the mergers, what they call it, the merger, wherever that form or how they create it, are other players, people that are in Saudi Arabia, people that are in Israel, so this is again, someone mentioned earlier, Netflix and these other all these companies are global.
Yes,
whether you know it or most people think it's just America, but this is shaping the thoughts of the planet, because this is the far reaches of what they do. So so when you, a good one, if you look at yesterday's the 11th hour for on MS Now with what's the name, Miss Rule, I forgot her first name. I always forget her first name. She's from Wall Street background, business mind, smart as a whip when it comes to this stuff. And she talked about, she went through all the pages and shared and showed all of the entities around the globe that are the investors to make this happen. You know, they gotta get their money from somewhere. Paramount is not just doing this with their money. They're getting investors from all of these places around the world. I do believe Saudi Arabia is on the side of Paramount, and all of these other entities
And
Look,
see, what we have to realize too is I don't know the terms of the deal. Nobody does
no one
yet.
knows the terms of the deal.
But all of this is not cash, right? It's not, if they pay for it, it's not going to be 108 billion dollars in cash. There may be some debt involved in there. There may be some other things involved in there. So really, when it comes to Hollywood and the way they do things, it's really quote creative financing, because it's never here's $46 billion in cash that take it's not all cash. So it's interesting the way they do things as well.
And when you say that, it's not just cash, but it's also the deals of who owns what. I mean, those other terms of, well, if we buy this, then we need to own this. It's not the cash that they're looking for. They're looking to bid. Maybe it's certain movies. Maybe it's a certain line. Maybe,
So here's what we have to understand. All of that is actually illegal. This is something called vertical integration, where one company owns things from production all the way through exhibition. And they outlawed that a while ago. Now there have been some workarounds and loopholes because we see that, but you're really, as one company, not supposed to own everything across the board. That's called vertical integration, and it's really not legal. So this is where the question came up with Netflix, that if they bought this would be vertical integration. So I'm wondering how they're going to handle all of this with Paramount.
Well, they said because Trump is on the side of Paramount because he wants control of CNN.
Oh, God of heaven, sit down. For somebody that wanted to lead the nation, can you do that?
Yeah, you cannot. It's against the. You are not supposed. The president is not supposed to be a part of these negotiations.
No.
But we are not living in a normal America.
We're not living in normal times. So to expect, we could say things that, like I just talked about, the legality of the legality goes out the window in this administration.
Yes,
because people are doing whatever the hell they like, and as such, they probably can't do it. But what's going to happen? Here's the thing: is that what's going to happen when the administration does turn, because it will, and then you have this mess made of, yes, the entire country, but Hollywood in particular, and let's say not just Hollywood, the media industry. You know how many people the media industries employ? If we just look at cities where New York, the media industry is solidly and heavily there. There's a lot of other things there, but the media industry is there, particularly with news. That's where you see a lot of production. When you talk about California and all, not just LA, we're also talking about Northern California and some other places. We're also talking about Nevada, right? And any place, if you ever go to National Association of Broadcasters, every single state that has tax incentives for production will be there. So every place has media, because if you have a news broadcast, if you have newspapers, if you produce anything media there, you have a media industry there. So this is really going to speak not just for what we see in traditional media or traditional Hollywood, the quote unquote big. This is also going to affect what we see locally. This affects local as well.
And I really believe still too, it will eventually, they are going, I mean, right now we feel slightly safe in what we call for the folks that we love in independent media, and also we who are on YouTube and these platforms, but they're going to come for these platforms. You know, they need to control everything that's being dictated. So Elise says here in the back room of this, Qatar, Saudi Arabia are involved. Saudi Arabia already gave Jared Kushner $2 billion. And also, Elise said to take note is Warner Brothers produced Sinners with Ryan Coogler. And so if you own the rights to these films, you can now say, you know what? We don't want to show them any longer. Everything that's Black, we don't want to show any longer. Anything that deals with Black history, we don't have to show it any longer. And I mentioned, since you did bring up Sinners, and my family was talking about it this weekend past. Remember watch the what is it called? The Night Watch with or that was on HBO. HBO was The Watchmen.
The
The
Watchmen, yes, yes,
Watchmen.
yes, yes.
So you had The Watchmen and you had Lovecraft.
Lovecraft
Right?
Country, which ended way too soon.
They were excellent. They had high ratings. People were and they were going to do second seasons of them. But what nailed them is, I don't know if you guys remember that both of them did portrayals of Black Wall Street being destroyed by the white community. And the production of it was incredible. For the first time, people visually understood what was happening in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think the town is called Greenville, but it's Tulsa, and how those people came in with planes and bombed and it was horrific. But for the first time, it was portrayed on the screen according to the history that it was written. And both of those shows that were doing great got canceled. And you can't find them. You can't find that scene.
So this is what happens when colonizers control your destiny. They don't own those programs, and they chose to do. See, the thing is, we get so happy every time they throw us a little ball. Oh, we want to do a first look 8-figure deal with you for XYZ and XY, and we get so happy for those little bones. And listen, I'm not saying don't go after that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But then we can't be surprised when they put those bones back in the bag, never to be seen again. Because we were so happy with we'll take those bones. You've had enough. Because they can decide when you've had enough. Just listen to how that sounds. We decide when we've had enough of you telling your story. That just sounds asinine. Why do we keep going for it? I know why, but why do we keep going for it? And here's the thing. We would not stand for this type of treatment in any other job. If anybody else said, oh, hell no, we would really rebel. But somehow here, we don't want to rock boats. We don't want to do things. And guess what? I understand. I love entertainment too. I love all of this too. That's why I'm in this world. But what I'm not going to do is beg people for a place in this world. Please. I would never. So, but it's I understand people are worried about their livelihoods, are worried about things, but we're at the point now that nobody can afford to just have one thing that they're doing. You have to have multiple streams of income. So if they say, well, we won't renew, okay, fine, whatever. We have
gotta be ready to pivot. Derek says, I'm ready to pivot, but I'm worried about my fellow actors, old and young, who are not ready to shift.
Very Christian of you.
And that is a real driver. I just had a conversation with a source. I can't tell you the person's name. Yesterday had a great conversation, and it is news now. I just saw it on the news. I had to verify that it is in the public that Apple for the first time is laying off workers. And can you believe Apple in its whole history has never laid off workers?
But we have to look at how money is made in all of these companies, right? It's never enough. And remember, publicly traded. So when you're publicly traded, you're beholden to
your shareholders,
satisfying the shareholders. Exactly. So if you're just a regular old company and you don't have to worry about that, you have a little more control of how you can do things. You have a little more control of how much money you actually have to make in order to be profitable, because you don't have to make the Brazilians that they make in order to be called profitable unless you are beholden to shareholders. So now that this is a problem. It always catches up with you eventually, and you have to find a way to save money, and that's often by letting people go. But guess what? Did their stock go up when they did that? Did you look?
I didn't check. No, I did not.
Usually that
Yeah.
happens because when you are cutting jobs, that means you're
Usually the
saving
stock goes
money,
up. Yes,
and
it does. Yeah.
stockholders
The
are happy
stockholders are
about that.
pleased. Yes. But I was talking to my source, and I was like, so you need to tell. He says, yeah, everything is cut. Everyone has to cut their departments, everything, and you just have to work harder. You have to work more. You're gonna have to work longer hours. You have to work more. The ones that are left, and this is all because also Apple has made some very bad decisions. Like you did not need to bring the Pro 17 out so fast. You just had the 16 Max and the 16 Max Pro. Why would you bring out another phone and rush it to market when you just had the other phone come out within within months? It had not even been a year yet between those two products.
You know, it kind of reeks of desperation. I mean, you kind of know what your books look like before you make the announcement. So
Yes.
this is probably a last ditch attempt to try and raise capital because or not capital revenue, because they are used to the public running and rushing to get Apple products as soon as they drop. But did you look at the fact that we are not certain of if there's a tomorrow with this administration? People are holding on to their money longer these days. And if that means I have to make my iPhone 1 work, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
And that's what's happening because people cannot afford their basic living. So no one's going out and saying, hey, I got spare change to just buy another phone just because the new phone came out. Maybe back in the other years when the country was doing better financially, but people are hurting. And people, again, and I say this over and over, is that America has lost more than 1 million jobs this year alone. And that affects so much. You may say, oh yeah, there's 360 plus million people in America. How does 1 million job losses affect us all? Well, it does, because less people are putting money in that 1 million plus people put money into the economy. And as they put money into the economy, it creates other jobs and fills other jobs. I was sharing with my family. I said, look, I had to see the writing on the wall myself and say, wait a minute, I'm getting less gigs. And it's not because they don't want to hire me. They can't afford me. Now one of my clients, I would have jobs all the time. Small ones, big ones, whatever. Now they only hire me for the most important jobs. But the little jobs, they give it now. Now they're giving it to someone that is, going to charge less, but they don't care really about the quality because, just want to get good photos out there or somewhat good photos. So this is where we are. I mean, and so now I'm not making the money that I used to make. So that means I'm not doing the things I used to do. Right. So, and that's one person. You think about that a million times. This cleaners is not getting their money. The restaurant down the block, the diner is not getting their money. It filters out throughout the whole economy. And this 2026 is looking like the mass layoffs are going to hit. And it's going to be vicious. So I'm suggesting to my friends, and I'm suggesting to this community, to start really looking at your purchases and your savings and start thinking about what does that economy look like? Because everyone's talking about it right now, is that people are losing jobs, but they can't find a job. And what does that look like when you have all these skills and now no one's hiring? How are you going to make ends meet? What are you doing? How are you pivoting? How are you making money other ways? You got to think about how you can make money in other ways that you have the ability to do it with quality and make it successful. If it's like Lisa's starting to knit and doing her knitting thing, if that means knitting blankets and sweaters for people in the community, because guess what? If they can't afford to go to Macy's, they might say, you know what, Elise, I like that sweater. I may want to buy it. And we're going to have to come to the knowledge, and it's going to happen anyway. We're going to be forced to build many communities among ourselves. and we will shop in those communities. We will build those communities, support those communities, because when you look at where these corporations are going, controlling the media, controlling the finances, and you would think, look, they all got tax benefits. So this is not about money. Even you losing your job for layoffs is about control. Control.
And if nobody proved it, they did.
They proved it. I see also here, Omar says, the entrepreneurs are being punched in the guts. It's bloody out there. It certainly is. And Lisa says, can we just mention quickly that he literally said it was okay to release the Venezuelan boat bombing files, and then said he never said that. He was memory loss because what? It's on video, sir. Yeah, and he also dissed my girl from ABC. And but she kept on going. She kept asking the good questions. Fifi says, I'm praying we don't slow down anytime soon. My company delivers windows and doors. Credit cards are off limits and paying off car loans. My company's stock is soaring and I own a few shares. This is where we are today. But again, y'all, for those of us that love the market, love the stock market, the market is overinflated. These numbers are not the tell of the economy. The market is having record territory and it's up there in 47. Now it's 47.6, 47,600, whatever. It was almost 800. It was almost hitting 48,000. But this is not real. It's not real. And it's going to get less real. The more people that are pushed out that tell the truth and replaced by puppets, you're not going to get the reality of the economy. Same thing with healthcare. You have to now go to independent media. Like I follow these on Midas Touch. These two beautiful Black women, they talk about, they're doctors. And they talk about the condition of where we are medically in the economy, I should say in the country, and how measles is spreading, whooping cough is spreading. But you don't get any of this. But you know what? They've changed all of these vaccinations and everything else. And you and I are going to be affected because none of this stuff is being broadcast. You don't see any of this on the news. So you have to go to you have to find your independent resource that's doing their homework and that is legitimate. This is where we are. This is why we talk about these subjects, is to hopefully spur you on, one, as a community to build information, but two, you have to do your due diligence. Dr. Tachi?
I don't know if they still do, but I know at one point when the administration stopped reporting on different things like COVID, et cetera, the American Medical Association was doing weekly streams on their YouTube site to talk about numbers and what was happening. So I haven't watched in a while, but I know the American Medical Association was doing that at one point. I don't know if they still are.
Yeah. And you have to. I mean, I know that on PBS, they did do some sharing because they're still public until they shut them down. Because they want to get rid of PBS and all the other public broadcasting. But, you got to find your resources to get the truth, because guess what? The mainstream media is corporations. And this is where we just started the conversation with media. They're only going to give you what they want you to know.
Correct.
They're not giving you the facts of what's happening behind the scenes. And the country is suffering. The country is suffering. People are suffering. There's no food out there. People are food scarcity. Gwendolyn talks about that all the time. And there's a lot going on. And you can't say, I don't want to know because I don't want to deal in negativity. I have friends that don't turn on the TV, don't do this, and don't want to hear or don't even do research about what's happening in the world. You have to take time to know what's going on in the world. You cannot prepare for a storm if you don't know the storm is coming. So
absolutely,
that's my sobering tip for today.
Yeah.
Is it time for it's 12:06. We gotta go to the lesson. The lesson is gonna be quick, so we're gonna do that real quick.
Okay.
But Dr. Tachi. Oh, let me just go through some of these. I see Lisa says, Elise, yes, but we can't. The Republicans see he really is the real Sleepy Joe, falling asleep everywhere, attacking people verbally like a dementia patient. Yes, he is. These are all signs of dementia, I must say. Fifi says Midas touch, under the desk news, Reuben allergy, etc. Yes. Lisa says ridiculous. RFK just stopped certain vaccines for babies and children, which means that's the hepatitis vaccine, which is going to cause hundreds of babies to die. So, and those that live will have cancer in the future at an earlier age because of this getting rid of this vaccine. All of these vaccines have been proven to work. They have cleared our world of certain viruses and diseases, but yet these fools. But I believe it's still a plan. We talked about this with Dr. Tachi says a silent genocide. I do believe that they're trying to get rid of the population. It used to be done by war. Now they're doing it by just any means necessary. There's no reason why you would lift the rules of poisoning food. Like, these agents that so now you can't even get good salads because now the pesticides will be there.
If I were another country, I would, and not that I want this to happen, but you have to think about the safety of your citizens. So if you have a country that is running rampant with people that are not getting vaccines that they should, I don't want them coming to my country. So okay. We've got to be very careful.
It's really bad out there in these streets, but we need to be informed. So stay informed. And the plan is, I would suggest that we get to know what's going on, get the information, dive in, click on some. We always talk about some of the independent media that's out there. And, Joy Reid is always out there sharing the truth. Midas Touch is always out there sharing the truth. Don Lemon's out there sharing the truth. You have Kalal, the young man that's always talking about Black history. There's so many resources out there. Let's dive into them. Yes. And if you discover them, make sure you share them for our Focus Friday. When we do our Focus Friday is when we can definitely share these moments. Okay? But anyway, let's go into photography. Dr. Tachi, thank you for joining the conversation today because you made it worthwhile.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay, bye. So Dr. Tachi's out and we are going straight to our quick lesson. So here we go. Today is photographing your Christmas and New Year's Eve celebrations. We're going to be real quick. So get in here, get your notepads, get your tablets, whatever you need to do to write on things. Do it. Here we go. Photographing your Christmas and New Year's Eve celebrations. And this really is not just your celebrations, but this is just the festivities of just being out in the world. People have Christmas lights on their homes, on their bushes, on their streets. There's neighborhoods that are covered with Christmas lights and all the beauty of Christmas. I mean, there is a fantasy to Christmas. We all love Christmas. Well, some of the time. I've had my humbug moments. But here we go. Here are some tips to help you capture the magic of Christmas and New Year's Eve. Here we go. Christmas photography tips. Capture the decorations. Focus on the details of Christmas decorations. Close-ups of ornaments, lights, and wreaths can create beautiful, festive images like you see here. See, get in there. Photograph that beautiful ball of ornament that you love and is surrounded by the lights and the tree and that greenery. Get in there. Get close up. Makes these beautiful photos. And next year, you might have some Christmas cards to give out just from your own images. And you can do this with your smartphone. Next, here we go. Next one on here. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Use natural light. Whenever possible, use natural light to capture the warmth and coziness of the holiday season. Position your subjects near windows or use the soft glow of Christmas lights, right? Use the light around you. Make it make sense. Make it beautiful. The glow of that makes it beautiful. Just take the time out and use the natural light. Natural light is the perfect way to take pictures. That's my opinion. I mean, a lot of photographers agree with me. There's some photographers that do not use flash or artificial lights. Okay, next, candid moments. Capture. You go into the office party, and there's office parties all begin starting this week. So take pictures. When I was with my family on Saturday, we had the greatest time. And they said, look, Ron has got the camera. And I just was sitting there just flicking away, clicking away. You know why? Because I was just documenting the moment. They would just say, Ron, don't you want us to pose? Nope, I do not want you to pose. Just handle your business. And I just clicked away and looked for candid moments. So capture candid moments of family and friends interacting. These shots often convey the true spirit of the holidays. I captured so many good photos with my cousins, and then so the folks that don't live here in New York, in the New York City region or New York Jersey area, they saw our we have a family chat that we post on every day, and people, whatever's happening, accomplishments, and so we post on there, and I posted these photos that I captured. I edited them, made them look nice, and put them on the page. And the family that was not be able to participate because they're in North Carolina, they're in Florida, other places, they were like, oh my gosh, look at all of the joy. Capture the candid moments. It makes a difference in your photography. Bokeh effect. Now, all you photographers out there, we love bokeh. We love it. We love it. That's how you see these little lights over here. That's called bokeh, like that little soft, mysterious lighting. Use a wide aperture like f1.8 or f2.8 to create a beautiful bokeh effect with Christmas lights in the background. Something I also like to do is when I have my telescopic lens, I like to get far away from the subject, but zero in on my subject with a 1.8 or 2.8, and then just zoom all the way in. And they say that's what they call compression. And you get these beautiful bokeh as well. So use your tools. Use your tools. Here's another one. Festive portraits. Take portraits in front of the Christmas tree or other festive backdrops. Encourage your subjects to wear holiday-themed clothing for added charm. Guys, one of the things we were doing on Saturday. So this, obviously, I was inspired by Saturday to talk about this. This is a rerun of sorts. But when we were at the mall and we wanted to have pictures taken, we asked the waiter to come out and, could he photograph? I tried to teach him how to use my camera. My camera was too advanced. So he got the smartphone. He used my smartphone. But my family was like, oh, let's take a picture over here. I was like, no, we want a great backdrop. So I put them in the right spot, put them in the right spaces, move them around, tall versus small in the front, tall in the back, and orchestrated the whole thing. And then I gave the camera to the host or the waiter, and he took the photos, and the photos came out perfect. Okay, so don't be afraid to arrange and make a portrait, make it look good. It's okay. So it's a time for portrait photos, making things look good, organizing it, creating the photo, and there's a time to just be candid. Okay, here we go. Next, food photography. Don't forget to photograph the holiday festive, capture the preparations, processing, and the final spread of the table. This is on those days, on the actual holiday. If you have family members making food, photograph them. This is a good time to capture, because guess what, y'all? I know that don't sound morbid, but everyone that's around the table today may not be there tomorrow. So take the moment. You be the photographer. You capture the people in your family. You do it. And then when the day comes when that person is no longer at the table, you'll be able to look back on those photos and say, oh, remember when mom, remember when dad, remember when cousin such and such. Remember. Photography is about remembering, holding. Okay. Also, New Year's Eve photography tips. Here we go. Real quick. Here we go. Fireworks. Use a tripod and a slow shutter speed around 2 to 10 seconds to capture stunning fireworks displays. Experiment with different settings to get the best results. Use your tripods. You see the fireworks. Your smartphone can sit on tripods. Okay. Also, party atmosphere. It's all parties from now to the new year. Capture the excitement of the New Year's party. Same thing with the Christmas parties. Look for moments of laughter, dancing, and celebration. Candid moments. Moments that matter. Capture them. Do not rehearse it. Just shoot it. Just capture it. Next, low light settings. Use a higher ISO and a wide aperture to handle low light conditions. Be mindful of noise and adjust settings accordingly. If you have a smartphone, most of our smartphones have a low light setting. Also, if you put it in just automatic, it will automatically go to the low light settings. So use your smartphone. And if you are of the professional mindset and you want to take photos and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to worry about my aperture priorities and my speed priorities, and I don't want to do my manual settings, you do have a great computer in your camera. And there's nothing wrong with using auto when you're with family members, right? You're hanging out, you're with friends. Let the camera do the work. You don't have to be a professional. I mean, obviously, you're going to use your professional skills and lining it up and seeing what it looks like, but it's okay. Auto is okay. Use the auto focus. Auto function. It will take care of all the work while you spend time with your family, right? Take a day off. Don't be a professional photographer. Use auto settings. I use them. When I was with my family, I said, okay, aperture priority. And then I said, you know what? It's time to use some auto settings. Let the camera do the work. Use that. Let it be. Okay, next one. Sparklers and light trails. Use long exposure to create fun light trails with sparklers. This can add a magical touch to your photos. Next. Countdown moments. Capture the countdown to midnight and the reactions of people as the clock strikes 12. These moments are filled with joy and anticipation, right? Get it in. Also, the best part about this time of the year, everything is reflecting. Reflections. Look for reflections in glasses, mirrors, windows to add an artistic element to your photos. I was photographing across from Grand Central Station 2 days ago, and this guy was sitting in a chair, and the ornaments were in front of him, these big giant balls, huge. But I did not want to photograph him. I had to be sly and photograph the reflection in the mirror, in the window. And it came out so beautiful. The reflection with the reality. So don't be afraid to use reflections. Reflections are just as beautiful. Okay, next. And general tips, the last, and then here, plan ahead. Scout locations and plan your shots or your shoots to make the most of the festive settings. I know where to go in Manhattan. I know where to go on the streets of New York. I've been doing it long enough to know. Go plan ahead. Experiment with angles. Shoot from below. Shoot from above. Places that most people don't shoot. Try different angles and perspectives to add variety to your photos. Next, edit thoughtfully. Use editing software to enhance your photos. Don't overdo it, but keep the edits natural to maintain the authenticity of the moments captured. And also engage with your subject. Make your subjects feel comfortable and encourage them to have fun. Genuine emotions make for the best photos. Like my aunt, she wanted to pose. I said, Auntie, no posing. Just live the moment. I got you. I got you. I know how to take the photo. I'm the professional. And she looked at me and said, okay, Ron. And so she just did her thing, because we noticed in the family that when she poses, it's not a good photo. So we say, don't pose, just live the moment. And we got you. We got you. So, yes, engage with your subjects. Let them know it's okay. Just go about doing your business. Okay. And the next, and that is it. That is it. We got to the end. We got to the end, y'all. We got to the end. I hope you learned something. What are you guys saying in here? And I see, let me just check back. I see Kaz says, you gave a great tip for to us when you said tap on screens to get clearer looks. Never knew that. Now do it often. That's right. If you want your camera to focus, tap on the screen wherever you want it to focus, and it's going to automatically focus on your smartphone. Just tap with your subject and it will focus. Also, I see here, Anthony says, shoot JPEG for the holidays. Yes. Yes. Shoot JPEG. You don't have to get all fancy and do RAW. Shoot JPEG for the holidays. It's about having fun and preserving the memories. This is not some, you're not posting for the magazine. Relax. Dr. Tachi says, this is good stuff. And Anthony says also, a high f-stop gives a star effect to Christmas lights. That's right. That's right. And then Kimmy sends the applause. Okay, guys. Did you guys enjoy this moment together? Did you enjoy our time together today? We will be here together. We are a community. And if this is your first time here, you are welcome to join the community. You can scan on that little QR code. It says that's our Patreon community. You can be a part of it. Be a part of it. Connect with us. There's a lot of great minds in this community. I'm not the only great mind here, if I must say so myself. Anyway, let's do this. Hold on, here we go. Again, join our YouTube community. In there, you can photograph, you can post photographs, you can text on there, you can do conversations and be engaging. Also, if you want to join our email list, do that as well. Join the email list so you can stay connected. Also, I am an event photographer. That's how I make my bread and butter. Make sure you reach out if you are looking for a photographer during this Christmas season for your corporate event, for your event that's happening here in New York. I am here. I am not going anywhere, I don't think. I will be here in New York City for the rest of the year, I do believe. So, unless something happens, unless Texas happens, then I'm here. But if I'm in Texas, you can still call me to do event photography. Okay, and last but not least, that's not last. Thank you, Patreon members. Your support helps us create amazing content and again, if it wasn't for the Patreon members in this community, we will not be here, because it's the Patreon community and you can become part of it. Just scan the QR code. They put money into this. They donate $3 a month. They donate $10 a month. Some do $25 a month. We even have members that do $100 a month that help support what we do here. They pay for the StreamYard and everything else. All of that stuff is paid for by this community. Be involved. Last but not least, join the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe. It is free to subscribe. Okay, I think I got it all done. I think I got that all in. How did I do today, y'all? How did I do today? Let's see here. I see here. I'm gonna get the last stuff up here on the board. I see some hands. Dr. Tachi said, I am not trying to be bothered with raw format. And Classic says, I have been doing well. I've been doing still pics. Does it do the same for action pics? Any suggestions for action movement pics or video for clarity? we can have that conversation offline, or we can have that conversation in the YouTube community. That way everyone can learn together. So use the community. That's a good question to put in the YouTube Touch Base Daily community, and then I'll answer it there. There we go. And also, Fifi says, great information, brother. Thank you. And one more from Classic. She says, we'll watch replay for any slides. Did not see also multitasking a bit over here. So she's multitasking, but that's okay. I think we got it, y'all. This is it. This is it. Guys, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's our water cooler talk conversation. Let's talk. See you tomorrow. Later. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.